Over the weekend, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, one of the largest newspapers in the state of Missouri, called for Republican Senator Josh Hawley, also from Missouri, to be investigated for his involvement in the Capitol Riot and, of course, all the other events that day. Now, as we know, Josh Hawley did not go and speak at the Stop the Steal rally. He was not there with the rioters rioting in the Capitol, but he did give him that little fist of solidarity. But more importantly, he voted to not certify the Electoral College results from several states. And that is what the paper, their editorial board, is saying needs to be investigated. And, by the way, not just him, they're also saying that Ted Cruz needs to be investigated, along with, I think there's 5 other Republican senators who voted to not certify those states, and they all do need to be investigated for this. And the paper points out one very important fact. There actually is an investigation taking place, but it's an investigation that's literally doing nothing. The Senate Ethics Committee earlier this year launched an investigation into Hawley, Cruz, Tuberville, all these Republican senators who voted to not certify certain states' electoral college results. They announced the investigation, and then they did nothing. So the investigation is technically still alive. It's just not moving. It's comatose right now, I guess you would call it. And the paper is urging the Senate Ethics Committee, get off your behinds and get busy with this. Most importantly, so that you can give these individuals, Ted Cruz, Hawley, Tuberville, and the rest of these goobers, I was going to call them gomers and goobers, and it didn't flow together right. Either way, give them a chance to defend themselves. Give them a chance to defend themselves on the record, because the paper's being fair about it. Let's hear from them. Let's hear what their excuse is. And if it's nothing more than just pure political motivation, discipline them. Get rid of them if you need to. But that's what has to happen here. We do need to hear from these individuals who voted against certifying the Electoral College results. Why did you do it? Did you actually think there was fraud? Because evidence shows the contrary. The evidence, the recounts, the audits, the signature verification, all of it shows there was not widespread fraud. And they knew this going into it because we'd already had recounts in certain areas. We'd had the signature verifications. They knew the fraud didn't exist, but they voted to not certify these results anyway. And we, the people, the public, deserve answers for that. That's what this paper is calling for. It's not saying immediately that we need Josh Hawley's head on a platter. It's just saying we need answers. Investigate this. Find out what happened and why. And again, most importantly, let us hear from these individuals. Let them explain it to us in their own words why they did this. Do they believe the election was legitimately stolen? Do they have any evidence to support these beliefs, or do they just believe it because Donald Trump and people like Mike Lindell and Sidney Powell are telling them they have to believe it? We deserve those answers, but we're not going to get them if the Senate Ethics Committee doesn't get busy on this investigation.